And hello, everyone. A warm welcome. It is day 31 since we've gone live on the Cappuccino Club social TV channel. We've gone live every single day, bar a few days when I had a dental procedure done. But we're back, and this evening we've got an amazing lineup for you in the energy sector. So I'm Brigitte Limbanda from Cape Town in South Africa, and my amazing co-host is none other than Viola Manuel. Viola, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Brigitte. It's been a good day, day 31. I cannot believe it. It seemed like the first 21 days were taking forever. And then we had the 14 days added by the president, and those 14 days just seem to be flying by. I'm very excited about phase, level 4 of lockdown, which starts on the 1st of May. But as we said yesterday, our show today is going to be all about ladies in the energy sector. We know that the energy sector is essential in terms of keeping us entertained and keeping us online and keeping us in touch with everybody during this lockdown period. And one of the things we, were always looking forward to is the fact that the energy, we had sort of energy security. So it's going to be fantastic to speak to some of the ladies in the energy sector. Very, very impressive CVs and bios. An amazing woman. I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Oh, absolutely. And isn't it strange how the energy sector was at the forefront for the longest time? And then along came COVID-19, and suddenly we didn't hear that much from the energy sector, but nonetheless, a very important sector to keep our economy ticking over.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, so it's definitely not a sector that we can ignore.
Absolutely. And I mean, really, if you think about it, if there had been rolling blackouts or anything had gone desperately wrong, within this sector, we would have felt this lockdown a lot more than many of us have. And then again, I mean, it's not an easy sector to work in. There's a lot of change happening in the sector as well. There's a lot of challenge in that in the sector. So I'm really looking forward to engaging with our guests today.
Okay, absolutely. So let's not waste any more time because we've got 3 guests on the show, and we do really want to spend some time chatting to them. So without any further ado, let's invite the ladies onto the show.
Good day, ladies.
Good day, Viola.
Rose, thank you. Thanks, Mpai and Fakazile. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really are excited to have a conversation with you today. But I'm going to ask, Rose, we'll start with you. Don't you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, the role you play in the energy sector?
Okay, thank you so much, Viola. My name is Rose Sedai. I'm a sales representative for a cable and wire and optic fiber manufacturing company. I am also the Deputy Secretary for the AMEU Women in Engineering. I think that is just a rough summary.
Okay,
of my
great.
background, yeah.
Rose, thank you so much. Fakazile, can we ask you to just tell us a little bit about who you are and the role you play in the sector?
Okay, thanks, Viola. My name is Fakazile Nkomiyahlaba. I work for the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality in Port Elizabeth, Eastern Cape. I work for Electricity and Energy Directorate in Electrification Division. I'm actually a technologist responsible for project management of electrification projects, where we actually supply electricity to the low income people or less disadvantaged people in the Nelson Mandela Bay community. I am also the chairperson of the AMEU Women in Electricity Eastern Cape branch. I serve in the national committee with Rose. So yeah, that's me.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. My name is Mpai Letebele. I'm a senior engineer at Eskom. I've been working there for 12 years now as a design engineer for transmission substations. I am a professional engineer registered with EXA, and I'm also a volunteer at EXA to help EXA to register other professional engineers. I also I'm currently a student at WITS doing MSc in electrical engineering. My qualification is in BSc electronics, and I graduated from University of KwaZulu-Natal like years ago. Yeah, and I'm a mother of 2 girls who I am single parenting. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Mpai, just one follow-up question. Are you based in Cape Town with Eskom or anywhere else in the country?
I'm based in Megawatt Park, a substation engineering department in Megawatt Park. It was under technology, but now with the new structure, we are now under transmission.
Well done. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. And I do want to just at this point, thank you, Landa, so much for having contacted you all and invited you to the show, and we're very excited. But I'm going to let Brigitte kick off our discussion this evening.
Yes, from me too, a huge thanks to Yolanda Mabatu for putting together the ladies for the rest of this week as well, and for organizing everything. A huge shout out to you. So can we start out with you, Mpai? How has the lockdown affected the electricity sector?
As electricity sector in general, because as you remember, we have the generation, transmission, and distribution. And for us to be doing this interview now, it's because they're all operating. We can never switch off. So which means that men and women out there still working, even as we speak, 24 hours. Otherwise, they wouldn't be us now communicating. So it has affected it a lot, obviously, because there are support people like us. I'm in support because I'm a design engineer. I'm not operational. So which means for us, because we are not going, we cannot go to work. The lockdown will affect us. We're not essential as other operational staff. So the company then will be affected, like the company itself and the sector in general. Even wherever we are support staff, will have to be affected by lockdown. We cannot get permits to be at home, to be going to work, because we are not necessarily essential. So which means all the projects that are in the pipeline will be affected.
Okay.
And Fakazile, how have you been impacted by COVID-19?
Okay, I didn't get that clearly. Can you please come again?
How have you been impacted by COVID-19?
Personally?
Yes, you personally.
Okay, yeah, all right. For me, it has affected me, but I've been on maternity leave. Actually, I'm a mother of a 3-month-old baby girl. So, and the first time mom.
Well done.
Thank you. So I've been on maternity since December. I was supposed to go back to work now in April, just a week before the Easter, which is now it was already locked down, so I couldn't go back because, like with Mpai, also not essential services. So my section is actually closed during lockdown, but there are operational people to ensure that people get power while they are locked down. So it has affected me personally because now I'm sitting at home. At the same time, there is a positive about it because I'm spending more time with my baby. So that's the positive part. Otherwise, yeah, being at home and yeah, I was looking forward to go back to work, and also to my plan was also to push my my Excel report to register with EXA, and all my information is at work. So I was like, okay, let me just go back so that I can sort out myself, because my plan was to actually register this year. So now I cannot do that because everything that I need is at work, even though I've got my laptops and everything with me, but the information that I need to compile is actually at work in my office. So that is a delay to me, but there's nothing I can do about it. So yeah, I'm just sitting at home but watching my baby girl growing and developing is a good part of it. But yeah, that's it.
Amazing.
That's a positive spin on the unintended consequences of COVID-19. And Rose,
yes.
how has a very nice one. Rose, how's COVID-19 impacted you in the energy sector?
Okay, because I come from a manufacturing company, it has affected us extremely badly because we are the support structure for the essential workers, because we supply electrical cables that's needed for maintenance work and so forth. So we were caught in between trying to be there and support our customers, which is our Eskom, your city powers, your municipalities, and also ensuring that our employees are also safe and protected from COVID-19. It's been a very difficult road, I must say.
Yeah. Let me ask a question. Has there been huge spikes in the electricity requirements now that people are sort of working from home, watching TV all the time, just like constantly, just using electricity? Has there been a huge spike in terms of the usage?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Mpai, tell us.
It sounds, yeah. The question.
It's a question.
Okay. Yeah, though, I'm not representing Eskom, but like from the knowledge I know, even Eskom promised that during the lockdown, there won't be any power, like maybe load shedding. For obvious reasons, that because, the industries are the ones that use a lot of electricity. And then we at home, yes, we still use a lot of electricity, but if it's us and them together, it becomes worse. But now that industries, I hope they're going to pay for my home bill, because now my home bill is going to go up. But and that, even though we have a lot of stuff, and good thing is it's not winter yet, so we are not using a lot of power for heating and stuff like that yet. So I think it makes sense that we don't have outages now, because the industries, most like manufacturers, like she said, manufacturers are not operating. They are the people who consume a lot of electricity.
Yeah.
Okay. So there seems to be a balancing out then of the fact that we don't have all the factories and manufacturers sapping electricity.
Yes.
And just a comment, we will be seeing a lot of employees sending their bosses bills for electricity.
I wish they do. I wish they do, because now the electricity bill now is on me.
Yes,
mine.
We're all on the same page.
Yeah.
But just to add on, from the information that I've received from our municipality I'm staying in the Vaal, so our municipality would be Mfuleni. They have very low energy consumption, due to all the industrial companies being closed. So which will essentially affect their revenue,
Okay.
So yeah, it's a bit bad in terms of revenue collection. Yeah.
Yes. I think that's been a big factor. Even in terms of the next phase of lockdown and level 4 being introduced, is really the decision around cigarettes, for example, is because municipalities and the government are losing out on such a huge tax benefit. So there's lots to consider, in terms of the decisions they're making for the country.
Yes,
correct.
Yeah. Okay. Can I
absolutely.
Let me ask the next question. In terms of the value chain in the energy sector, the full value chain of essential workers and non-essential workers, in your minds, who do you think would go back on the 1st of May in terms of the value chain? What are certain sectors that would go back? Let's ask Rose maybe first.
Okay, I would say definitely the mining sector. I know in terms of manufacturers, there's only a certain percentage where we are allowed to go back. We can't, I think it's 20% where we can only, go back up until, we reach stage 3, which will be 50% in addition to that. Yeah, operations and maintenance, I think they need to have more people that are back there in those sectors.
Okay.
Yeah. And construction.
Okay. And have your bosses and department heads and supervisors, have they been sort of communicating with you guys in terms of what their plans will be from the 1st of May?
On my side, yes, but my supervisor has not yet updated us. We're still waiting, but he's a person that communicates to tell us what's going to happen. The last time he spoke to us was like, because we've got a WhatsApp group as a section. Then he informed us that, okay, we must continue to stay at home up until he gets an update from the senior management himself. So I believe to date he has not received any update. As soon as he gets that, I'm sure he will actually come back to us. But from my point of view, I think that the construction side of things should go back from the 1st of May, because we also fall under construction in the sense that we do projects, electrician projects, but there's construction involved where there's excavation of holes and a planting of poles and all that, installation of transformers and all that. That forms part of construction. So, and those projects now on standstill, and communities are suffering outside because they always look forward to get electricity. So if that is coming to play, then we also have to go back to manage those projects, and there's also budget involved because we get funding to do those projects, and we've got time frames to actually spend that money. So I'm sure they will consider things like that and then decide as to whether who comes back or not.
Okay, so even within the energy sector, in local municipalities, of course, that you guys will also have discussions on how you will actually bring in the resources that is required for level 4 lockdown. Let me ask a question. In terms of, everybody has sort of said COVID-19 is this huge game changer. It's changing the way we operate. It's changing the way we see the world. It's creating all this opportunity and so on. And it's definitely bringing about change. In terms of your sort of frame of reference, have there been major innovations and creative thinking now that COVID-19 is here? Let's ask Mpai.
Yes, from my side, I can't say it's a major innovation, but rather it's optimization of current resources. Because we are so used to contact. Like, when I'm doing my project, I'll have a project manager on the other, because at Megawatt Park, we're all there. I can walk and go to another block and then talk to the project manager. If I need a line engineer, I can go, it's same floor, I just go. But now we have optimized the system we've been working we have never stopped working from lockdown. We've been working from home, and then for me, I feel like it's efficient even more than at work, because it's open space environment. It's easy to be distracted. But for me, I think optimizing the current tools that we have, we've always have Microsoft Teams, but we've never used it. We just started using it now. in our department, and then it has been great. And I've seen how efficient people can be, because you don't have to wait for someone to be at their desk. You just send an email and everything will be there. You'll get everything you need. And for me, I think I found something. I think we had a treasure. It was hidden in COVID-19, because now I feel like we're more efficient than when we are at the office. That's what I can recommend from our boss. From now on, let's just work from home, because I see myself more efficient. I don't take a lot of tea breaks because I'm already at home. And then I just find myself working. I can't stop, because I feel like now I'm enjoying my work better than when I'm at work. Because work sometimes it's got other issues that sometimes you don't feel like you want to work, and then there's someone coming with this and that, but now you are in your own space, and then you are enjoying your craft as an engineer. Now you're enjoying being an engineer, and with less interaction. Not that we need interaction, but contact is still good. But sometimes I think we had too much interaction, like, just for lack of a better word. But I found it more efficient than when I'm at the office. For me, like, it worked out better. Yeah.
Rose, do you have the same experience? Is it the same for you?
Not at all. For me, I think it's a work in progress. There's still a lot that needs to be done for us to be efficient at home. I mean, we are working with plants. In the plant, you need people to be physically there to maintain the machines and to supervise and to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So we need to. Now we are, combining our heads and coming up with strategies as to how we're going to protect the people in the plants, how we're going to protect ourselves. But the people that can work from home, we are working from home. Currently, we've been working from home throughout the lockdown. But it's a work in progress. A lot needs to be implemented.
Yeah. Fakazile, how are you finding it? I know that you're having an absolutely amazing time being with your beautiful 3-month-old baby. But how are you finding working from home? Do you find that you are able to concentrate for extended periods of time, or how are you experiencing it?
In our section, we cannot work at home at all. You can only do something in the office. There's actually nothing that you can do once you're at home. So it's not working for us at all. You're gonna have to be, because I cannot even connect to the server when I'm here at home. We don't have that those resources where you are able to connect to the server, because you would have to connect to the server to be able to access certain documentations to work on. But now when you're at home, boom, nothing. So there's nothing I can do when I'm at home.
Okay.
Fakazile, you should just change. I was just saying you should just change the employer. I was just saying Fakazile should just change the employer. Because
do you want to hire me there?
Because just saying, we can access the server from home. I'm just saying, those things are there. Just tell your municipality to pay for them to be available.
I know we're busy. It's a lighter note, but I must tell you, I think all of our guests say different things. It works for some people to be at home. It doesn't work for other people. It works for some companies, whereas other companies are a lot more security conscious. So the idea of having staff using their own devices to tap into servers and tap into, sort of confidential spaces, technological spaces, is not something that the executives are comfortable with. So I think it's really just almost about everybody, your own space and so on. So I know
that's true.
Brigetti's keen to weigh in on this discussion, because we've been having guests all the time and everybody sort of has their own view.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. I just want to let Rose know. Rose, if you are still able to hear us, please use the same link to rejoin us. We've only got 5 minutes left. So if you are able to join us for another few minutes, please do so using the exact same link. And so ladies, have there been any, out of the whole period now that we've been in lockdown with COVID-19, has there been any innovations and creative thinking as an indirect consequence of COVID-19? Mpai, can we ask you first?
Yes, I think that's what Viola asked earlier. Yeah, it's basically for me, I cannot say there's been a big innovation. It's just what I've realized is the current tools that we have, they've been optimized. Like all of what I'm using now, even accessing the server from home, is the first time I do it now. I never did. I've been working for as a design engineer for 12 years. It's the first time I do it. And it's tools that are there that are being paid for every month, but we never use them. So I found it very efficient that like as a way forward. You know, sometimes you miss meetings. Maybe if I have a meeting in Cape Town, I don't go because we are used to contact. I don't go because I can't make it because I have a meeting maybe in Durban. So because of that, now I can have, while I'm in meeting in Durban, if the times are not exactly the same, I can just hop into my computer, have a signal, and then I can have meeting anywhere. There's no need for us to actually be stuck up, and unless if you have to go to site, because at the end of the day, because I do substation designs. I have to be on site. That's when only I really have to travel. But for meetings, for me, after I've seen that, we can share, we can do everything as if you are in a meeting. There's no need of contact anymore. That's what I realized, that optimizing the tools that we have can be very efficient. That's
And
what I learned.
for moms, for single moms, all the sort of traveling and the difficulty of
Yes,
having to leave kids and so on. This is such a great, it's really
yes,
been one of the
yes,
unintended consequences of COVID-19. Yeah.
yes, yes.
I think a lot of people didn't realize how much we could do online and how effective meetings can be. And you can literally go from one meeting to another without having to travel.
Yeah.
And it's a huge cost saving.
Without wearing heels. Do you know you can have a meeting at home without wearing heels? Like, it's the greatest innovation.
Absolutely.
I think that's a big win for women. You know, it's like you don't have to wear heels. But
No.
by the same token, I've also heard women saying that they don't feel quite as productive if they don't dress up at home as they would normally for the office. You know, but to each their own. Whatever works for you is great. Ladies, do we have to wrap up? Can we have a final word from each of you before we do?
Yeah, I think Brigitte, maybe just bringing in the theme. It is Freedom Day today. It's the strangest thing, because now that we're under lockdown, we didn't even, some people didn't even realize it's a public holiday, because usually when you're working, you look forward to that public holiday to sleep in and do all the things that we're now doing as a matter of habit almost. Just in terms of Freedom Day, and the history of our country and what we're going through now with COVID-19 and the pressure on our president and his cabinet, what exactly does freedom mean to you now? With the lockdown and not being able to actually move around, what does freedom mean to you, Rose? Oh, Rose has had to jump off. Fakazile, what does freedom mean to you?
I think freedom for me, it's good, because now we are able to even interact like this, and share our what our experiences in terms of the COVID-19, and the fact that we can hear what is happening around, and then the updates even on the COVID-19, and be aware of what's going on, so that we may be able to plan and see what can we do to save our lives and our families. So yeah, for me that's basically that.
Okay.
Fakazile, can I ask you, has there been a shift in what you think is important in terms of freedom, as Viola said? Now that we've we've been in lockdown, has your perception of what freedom entails changed?
No, not really. For me, it does not change anything because we are still free, even though we are in this pandemic. And I believe that it's just a matter of time before we are able to get back to our normal ways of doing things again. So for me, there hasn't been any change.
Yeah.
So that comes back to, our
Yeah.
conversation that we've been having, Viola, about pivoting. So
That's
instead
right.
of having in-person interaction and meetings, we've been able to do this online.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Mpai, what is
Yeah.
Mpai, how about you?
Okay, for me, you know, I'm old enough. I've seen apartheid. I've seen COVID-19. Like, I know that, I'm big, I'm old, yeah. And for me, being a woman, a Black woman in South Africa, being an engineer, for me, is a symbol of freedom, because my grandmother wouldn't be an engineer being a Black woman. Now I sit with men, I tell them, no, this cannot be done like this. I use my brain, they use their brain, and I have that freedom. I do it in here, even when it means I'm writing an email to explain some issues, or where they explain and interact with men, white men. Well, before I wouldn't even dream, my grandparents wouldn't dream of that. For me, COVID-19 doesn't do anything, doesn't intimidate me. As long as I'm safe, I know it will go like any other obstacle I've had in my life. It will go, and I'm still enjoying my freedom in my house, and I enjoyed my freedom because I know we have had a lot of drama in the world, and especially as we've seen some of the things, some we've had, and we are conquering every day. So COVID-19 will not take my freedom away. It's not even close.
But Brigitte, for and to the ladies, for me, freedom is about choice. As soon as you have choice, you have freedom. And then I think of, for example, the people Fakazile mentioned, the people who are in a less privileged position than us. They have less choice, and therefore they have less freedom. If you start looking at it like that. And so, I think the message for me, I had a few other sessions today. The general theme is, whatever level of freedom you have, appreciate it. Appreciate the freedom that you have.
Amen. I fully agree. Yeah, that's true.
Just appreciating what we have. I think that's freedom.
Yes,
that's correct.
Ladies, thank you so much. It was lovely having you as guests today. And it's a pity we lost our connection with Rose. But Rose, thank you so much for joining us as well. Yes. And we hope to welcome you back at some time in the future again. So thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, then.
Bye-bye.
That was amazing. Great to hear from ladies on the ground in the energy sector. But we've got some more. What's up for tomorrow, Viola?
So tomorrow's going to focus mainly on the SMME sector, SMMEs within the energy sector. We're really going to be talking to some of the business owners and small business in the energy sector, just figuring out how COVID-19 has affected them. So I'm looking forward to that. We've got a whole new set of guests with us. And of course, just a reminder that our show will air at 3 o'clock tomorrow, not 7 o'clock, because it is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday, so we'll see you tomorrow a little bit earlier, but nonetheless, looking forward to our conversation with some more ladies in the energy sector. So from me, Brigitte Lembanda in Cape Town, it's goodbye for now. And just a quick reminder that the Cappuccino Forum does not support disinformation, misinformation, or any fake news with regards to COVID-19. Have a great evening further, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.